it's Halloween week. I had to do that. Unless you're watching it later because it's a podcast and you can watch it anytime. So when I go boo and it's Thanksgiving or boo and it's Christmas, you're just going to think I'm an idiot. But we're doing this for Halloween week.
Great.
Hi, I'm Rusty Humphries. That's Jeff Jr. We're building your wealth with Trajan Wealth. And the reason why it's so scary is that there are nightmares when it comes to retirement. Now, I have nightmares thinking about retirement, but what about retirement? What are some of the things that people worry about? What are some of the scariest things people have when it comes to retirement?
Well, I mean, the biggest concern that people have, could you imagine getting to 70 years old, let's say 65, 70, 75 years old, not having the ability to work for whatever reason, whether it's health related or and running out of money, knowing that you don't have enough money set aside for your retirement. I mean, that can be pretty scary.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the single largest concern that not only retirees have, but obviously pre-retirees. Not having enough.
So what do you wish most people knew when it comes to retirement?
I wish everybody knew Trajan Wealth, first and foremost, that we existed. But I also wish then beyond that not only do they know Trajan Wealth, but they know that Trajan Wealth is here to help them in that quest. Because that's our goal too.
Right.
I mean, our goal is to develop a lifelong relationship with our clients. And so if they work with Trajan Wealth, we can help prepare them so eventually that doesn't happen. Now it's a joint effort though.
Right.
We can't give them the money, but we can definitely help them manage what money they do have correctly.
Now, what it could be like, and this is just a hypothetical, if you work with Trajan Wealth, think of it Halloween, you could be coming to Jeff's office and go trick or treat, and you'd be having money put into your little pumpkin. It would be, well, if you don't, there's no money going into the pumpkin, right?
We'll help add interest into that pumpkin.
There you go.
But we've got to start with the seeds first.
Well, yeah, you got to start. You can't just go trick or treat on the first day and expect something to be there.
Right, that's right. We can't do much with empty pumpkins.
Right.
Now we can at least educate you to put some seeds in that pumpkin and to get moving.
Right.
But we need some money in the pumpkin to get it moving.
Right. And the more you put it in, like if you start off with hardly anything, you're going to get like pumpkin seeds to get, and if you put a lot in, by the end you may be getting Snickers, you may be getting Reese's peanut butter cups, all the good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. What did you steal candy from your kids when they came back from trick or treating? Yeah.
Every good parent has to.
Yeah, I used to call it the trick or treat tax.
Yeah.
I'd teach them a little bit about it.
That's right.
Now, if you're acting like a Democrat, I'm going to take a lot more. If you're acting like a Republican, I'll let you help grow it.
They can keep all the Tootsie Rolls. They get the Tootsie Rolls. I want the Kit Kats. I want the Snickers.
The Reese's peanut butter cups. Those are going, right.
For sure. Yeah, those are coming home with the parents. I need to make sure there's no needles in this.
That's right. I got to make sure there's no poison. That's right. So are there good ways of avoiding running out of money when you're retired?
I think the biggest...
Don't spend it.
In the military, they taught us the 5 Ps. So the 5 Ps, it's really 6 Ps, but I'm going to leave one of the bad words out.
Okay.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. So those are the 5 Ps, and I always thought that was really interesting. And as they're yelling at you with the 5 Ps, you don't think much of it.
Right.
But, it resonates now. It's proper planning prevents poor performance, and what I mean by that is it's never too early to start, and it's also never too late to start. The more you can do, the more proactive you are. And, another thing I'll even add to that, too, is a lot of people think that they just don't have enough.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, if they have $100,000 and they're 60 years old and they're contributing, that's enough. I mean, that's enough at least to start getting a plan going. Everybody always waits until a perfect time, and I'm telling you, life is not perfect.
Right,
it always has challenges. There's always going to be issues, reasons not to do something. But if you just take a proactive approach, and I think the first step is just giving our team a call, setting an appointment, taking 60 minutes out of your day to learn how you can properly be prepared is a great first step.
One of the things I liked about Trajan Wealth, learning more about what you do, Jeff, and that is you're not taking a commission off of every single thing that you do when you invest.
Right.
There's a difference between you being a broker and a fiduciary.
Well, big time.
Yeah,
big time. I know one of our segments was specifically about broker and fiduciary, and the reason that our goal is so teacher focused is because we're not commission based. When you're in this business and you earn a commission for selling, your main goal is obviously to sell.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying we're not going to that we're not in the business to sell. Our business is to earn your business, but there's a different way of doing it, and it's through educating, because we know once we educate people, once we've enlightened them, once we've shown them a path that it's not too hard to achieve and they don't have to go on that path by themselves, the business naturally comes.
Right. Do you sometimes find, I know you hear knowledge is power, and I know a lot of people that live by that. The problem is they don't take any action. So knowledge is great, but you got to act on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think a lot of people confuse just learning the information and action. Right. Just learning the information, you can't go home and say, I did such a good job, I learned how to do it. Well, now you have to do something about it, and you have to go to the next step. So
it's like sometimes I feel like I bought the book.
Yeah. And if you don't read it, what does it do?
Well, you're right. I should have the information because I bought it.
Right.
But you got to do the work.
You do.
And it's the same with retirement.
Yeah. And it's a little bit of time. That's all I'd say we're asking for is just a little bit of time. And open up your mind, listen to new concepts or potentially new concepts. But I think a lot of what we teach isn't cataclysmic. It's not like, oh my gosh, I never heard of that in a million years.
Right.
That's crazy. These are basic principles that we've stuck to for many, many years. And we're glad to have a great following now and hope to increase that.
Well, we sure do, and we first of all appreciate you listening to Jeff on the radio and finding this podcast. And if you learned anything, just a little teeny bit, we really suggest that you subscribe, because what we're building is a library of knowledge for you. And if you take the time to watch these shows, to listen to these shows on a weekly basis, or maybe watch 2 or 3 at a time, kind of binge watch Jeff Jr., which I think should happen.
I think it should too.
Yeah. What you'll find is that you are ahead of the game of most people out there. And then you take that extra step by calling Jeff and his team at Trajan Wealth. You're really going to find that you're going in the right direction. So do yourself a favor. That's subscribe to the podcast. There's flies all over.
Yeah, I'll get them.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll
Take that
here.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Subscribe to Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth. There's the subscribe button right there, and hit the notification button, because you want to make sure you don't miss any quality entertainment like you just saw moments ago. So thank you. So subscribe to Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth featuring Jeff Jr. Also share it. Share it, please. Make sure people know that Jeff Jr. is out there, because you want your friend. Here's what you don't want, okay? Let's say you've got a friend that you know should be working with Jeff Jr. and you don't forward this. They may be calling you, asking you for money later on down the road. You don't want that. You do not want that. So subscribe to Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth. Share it and let people know. We appreciate you. We'll catch you next time. I'm Rusty Humphries. He's Jeff Jr., the CEO and president and chief garbage hauler outer at Trajan Wealth. And we'll catch you next time here on Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth with Jeff Jr.
Thanks, Rusty.
Investment advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.